Hello guys, welcome. And before I go any further, I just want to ask you a question. A straightforward question. Do you have a website? Comment below. If you have a website, comment with yes, I have a website. If you don't have a website, comment with no, I have a website, because I'm coming up with a very powerful support program to help you and see if I can bring you up to speed in having a website at a low affordable amount. Okay, but if you have a website, now the next question will be, how many websites or how many virtual businesses do you have on your website? So many people just look at the website as, okay, I have a website, and if I need another website, I'll go and create another website. I will pay for hosting, I'll pay for domain, I'll pay for hosting and all that. And the truth of the matter is, once you have a website, what you have gotten is that you've gotten a domain name, which is a unique URL to your hosting server, and you've gotten a server. So you have a domain name and hosting plan. So invariably, you can host so many domain you can host so many domain names within a given hosting plan, except if it is said that this hosting plan can only take one site. So otherwise, you can actually bring up so many virtual businesses on your hosting capacity, provided that the hosting capacity, the bandwidth, the space can actually accommodate those solutions. Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you step by step what you need to know and what you need to do in order to have more than one site on your server, so that you are not going to be paying for much subsequent server. When you are creating a website, you only need to create you only need to pay for the first server, which is the main server that you are going to be using, and you just buy domain. And if you know that domain is extremely cheap, it means that to set up a virtual business can be so easy if you are willing to just know what it will take. So I have done a list of what you need to understand, and I'm going to use this list to explain where we are actually going. So the first thing is that whenever you say you want to you want to build a website, the first thing you are asking for is you are registering your domain name with a domain registrar, okay, and you are paying for a server capacity, probably like using WhoGoHost, which is the one I'm going to use in this tutorial. The minimum server capacity is just 2 gig, okay, and with 2 gig you can host more than one. In fact, you can host up to, like, it depends on you, up to like 100 websites, even with 2 gig, except if your files are heavy, your images are heavy, which we would encourage that even you don't put your videos on your server. Put your video on YouTube and call it, except if you have like VPS server, you have unlimited cloud dedicated servers, you can then put your video content on your server. But in a normal startup idea, you only need to have your hosting, which is the server, the minimum of like 2, 3, 4, 10 gig as you can afford, and you register for the domain. Now the first domain is attached to your hosting if you are registering your domain with your hosting provider. That is, if you are registering your domain with your hosting provider. So many people will always say don't do that, but for a start, at a beginner, there is nothing wrong, okay. And in this tutorial, I'm going to actually use that because it is easier and than any others. So that is the first thing. Now subsequently, you have gotten your server. You now want to build another domain. You want to register another domain and build another website on that domain. That domain is not going to be the primary domain of that server. It's going to be an add-on domain of that server. But there's something you have to do. For the domain to work with that server, you have to change the domain name server. You have to set up the domain to be the name server of the domain to be the same name server of your normal server. Okay, but however, if you are doing everything within a given hosting provider, like my own case now is WhoGoHost, everything will just be by default. Everything will be by default, so it's going to work. We don't need to change anything. You just need to pay for the first domain, which is the primary domain, pay for your hosting, which is going to be linked together by default, and you can actually install your WordPress. And if you are actually building your website as from the scratch, you can just use your FTP file transfer protocol to bring in your content, and your content will be live. But if you want to add other domain to your server after the first primary domain, you have to set them as add-on domain, and they are going to work. So in this tutorial, I'm going to just show you how it is being done step by step, and I wish you would get the message. So I'm going to reduce this image, this video recorder, and for you to see. So this is my account, my WhoGoHost account. I have some domain, and majorly I will say that we can be conscious of, when you are starting, you can start with shared hosting, which is what some of my domain and services are on based on. But if you are growing, you should be thinking migrating or starting up with a virtual service, a virtual server, which is VPS, virtual private server. So one of the domains that I've just registered for this specific training is digitalcoach.com.ng, and if you come to these three dots here, these three lines here, you will see manage name server. So now here we are talking about the domain. We are not talking about the server now, the hosting. We are talking about the domain, but we want to assign this domain to a server, and that server is always with an IP address. So for us to access that IP address, we have to convert that IP address to a name server and insert or add the name server into this domain account. So we can also add the same name server or any other name server into any other domain account that we want to redirect to that main server. So here we just click manage name server, and if you have nothing to do with it, like if you actually use the same provider for your hosting, for your domain, you don't need to touch any of these things. You just need to register and make sure that your domain is active. And the next thing is that you would have to make use of the same login details that was given to you when you created or registered the primary domain. You will be given a login details, the primary domain, the hosting, the first control panel hosting. You will be given a login detail. So you just have to use that same login details to come to your control panel. And when you get to your control panel, you will see that this is a primary domain for this control panel, this IP address, which is a shared hosting package. So all I need to do is you come to your add-on domain, or you can come to your domain. If you come to your domain, all you need to do is you register a new domain. Okay, you register a new domain. Just come to create new domain, and you register it, and you should specify that the root should not be with this mojeedfetuga.com. Rather should be public underscore HTML / my own. So you have to do this, and you now have it like this. You have to uncheck this, root, and you now make it an add-on domain. Once you put a name here, let us say myblessing.com. Immediately you create myblessing.com. Okay, the root will be public underscore HTML / myblessing.com. So, and the subdomain will always also have. Then you can remove this subdomain if you don't want it. But it says an add-on domain requires a subdomain in order to separate the documents from the root. So once you've done that, you just click submit, and if you click submit, it's going to come as we have here. It's going to come as this. Now my primary domain is on public underscore is located at public underscore html. Meanwhile, my add-on domain is located public underscore html slash digitalcoach.com.ng, and that is just that. Once you've done that, you have created or you have registered for a domain, and you have added that domain to your control panel. And with that alone, under your domain, with that alone, you can then go to your subtaculars. No, you have to come to your let's encrypt, because if you notice, you'll see that there is a domain validation here which is available, that this Mojeed Fetuga is secured and it is validated. And the new one that you are just creating, the add-on domain that you are just creating, you have to encrypt it. So under security, you just click on let's encrypt. That is the SSL certificate, and you pick the new domain that you just created, the add-on domain, and you issue the certificate for it. So you issue certificate for it, and immediately you do this, within a very short time, certificate will be installed onto this domain, which is digital coach, and any other using this IP address, which is the normal server hosting IP address that we have. And once you've done that, you now need to come and install your WordPress. If you are making use of WordPress, you'll come to your Substaculars app installer, or you come down to Substaculars app installer and you click on WordPress. So once you click on WordPress, this is WordPress. You can see the space for what required space for WordPress is even less than 50 megabytes. So there is enough to go around. And if you have 2 gig, it means that 50 megabytes, you can install like so many WordPress accounts. So I'm going to select digital coach, and I will remove the directory. So I want to I will leave this to, I can change this site name and site description later. Digital coach. Okay, and my password is I have to hide it. I'm sorry, I have to hide that. And the admin is digital coach. I've not created this email account for this admin, so I will just leave that like that. I will create that later, so I just want to put the Mojeed Fetuga 62@gmail.com. Okay, so immediately I've done that, I'll just come to install. I will come to install WordPress. So it's going to just take a few seconds. It's not even up to done. So now what we have done is that we have installed WordPress on digitalcoach.com.ng within the same server that we actually have mojeedfetuga.com. So it means that in this tutorial now, I've been able to show you that you can install more than one website, more than one digital solution within your server. If you should create a server, if you should get a server, you can say I'm running this business digitalcoach.com.ng for my digital solution for training, and that is the essence of this server. That is the essence of digital coach for training, and subsequently I've shown you how you can actually do it. Then you can also install for e-commerce store, for any other virtual businesses that you really want to work on, provided that the bandwidth that you'll be using and the capacity for the files that you'll be using are available. Okay, there's one thing about people, as far as tech is concerned, we don't majorly optimize our solution. Like, let me optimize the capacity of this thing so that it's going to give me the best performance and the best, the easiest or the cheapest rate. And this shows that I've only just used one storage for two virtual solutions. That is just the essence of this. I've used a single storage for two virtual solutions, and it helps for us to reduce cost and for us to still be able to manage our businesses at online. So in the next video, I'm going to continue from where this ends. I'm going to go into the dashboard. I'm going to show you how you actually, the page builder you can use, the best page builder available now, which is Elementor. If you don't know that, please, in the next tutorial, I'm going to be taking you through a very long step-by-step guide. There are some solutions I will be bringing up. I will be using that solution, this digitalcoach.com.ng, for several web development training, and that is what I'm going to be using this solution for, in order for you to see how it is being done. If you have any question, please put it in the comments. Let me know if there's any way I can help you out. I can actually do that. I'll be glad to do that. And if you really want to take the service, yes, you are welcome. Please let us. The charges are, simple, free, available. The payment is not difficult. We will help you get you your solution, get you to optimize the performance of all your digital solution, and that is what we actually do. Web-based marketing solution. Okay, to get more traffic. We are going to do. If you have any question, put it in the comments. Till next week, where I'll be releasing the next phase of this tutorial, where I'll be working on the dashboard step by step. Please feel free to give it a thumb up and share, comments, share and grow my subscriber units. I'm begging. Till next week, I wish you all the best. Stay blessed.